Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So let's go ahead and jump on in. This is going to be a today's topic video. It is going to be for the 8th of August. So that is that 8-8 portal. Um, Later on, I will be doing a full moon message as well. But for right now, let's just take a look at what is that 8-8 message. We have the Chariot. And I love it because we've got these two white horses that are, taking off. This is about someone being empowered enough, strong enough. I don't know if somebody's going to the gym and they're just feeling like really strong. They're feeling like they've been working their spiritual muscles. They're feeling normally this is like emotional confidence and emotional balance and like ready to move forward. Hey, hey guys, sweet Ginger Montague. So great to see you guys. Um, you notice that this divine light is like filtering down and this person's done their deadlift but they're like tilting their heads back, like looking up at the sky, like I did it, I got here, I'm strong enough to do this now. What is it that somebody is strong enough to do on the 8th? We have got the 3 of Wands. They're strong enough to start planning their future. They're strong enough to really move forward, like really move forward. This is no longer a pipe dream. This is no longer somebody. This could be anything, but let's use something simple. Let's say somebody said, I am going to start Pilates. I'm going to get stronger and fitter, and I'm going to, I'm so going to do this. All right, this is the day this person's like, I am so putting this into my schedule and non-negotiable. I'm going to make time for this from here on out because in the next 3 months, I really want to be able to say, I did this, I committed to this. Could be something, seemingly like small like that. We have this little rowboat here that is, docked. And I would just say this is the beginning of a journey that specifically is like, in 3 months, this is where I intend to be. I feel like this is somebody making a promise to themselves. I'm doing this. And between now and the next 3 months, a high priestess. It's not even that I want to, it's that I must. I intuitively know I have to prepare myself for the next chapter. You notice she's standing between the instead of like pillars, we have these two towers. She is very aware that there's a reason to do this now. She's got a big old chunk of crystals. She's got the book of life. She's got this friendly little dolphin off to one side who's there, to like guide her and her cat as well. So we have a couple of like familiars maybe. But I just feel like there's what she's gravitating toward, what she knows is on the horizon somewhere in the next 3 months. By the way, we have cycles of the moon being visible here on all 3 cards. Okay, so we've got kind of like our little crescent, we have a full moon, and then we go back to a little bit more crescent, but we have a depiction like she's planning out something that she's going to be doing that she feels called to do because she already knows she has to be in a certain energy 3 months from now. She has to be, done with some training program where she has to put herself through. Oh, look at this. It's the Ascension card. Okay, so if that's what this is all about, her life is about to change. And I say her, but please bear in mind, this could be a masculine, it doesn't matter. This could be just the feminine energies in all creatures, in all individuals as a whole. This could be the whole collective, but the feminine energy is needing to, commit to like a little metamorphosis because it's like, okay, this is happening. Let's just embrace it and let's go for it. Let's put in the positive energy. We're strong enough to do this. We can set a plan for where we want to be in 3 months from now. But what this is it's an ascension, an elevation. This feels really good. If it's about kind of some of the feminine energies, 10 of Wands, feminine energy is going to be the energy of the gravitational pull. Maybe this is, it'd be a really good time for characters to start to like welcome things like manifest that way. We can manifest from the masculine energy where we project outward and we go, charge after stuff, or we can manifest through the receptive energy, the gravitational pull of the moon, which is the feminine. And I'm wondering if, laying down burdens and preparing to receive information, receive downloads, be kinder, be more nurturing. All these things are those feminine energies, and masculines have this energy within them as well. But sometimes the world gets really brittle and really harsh and really mean, and everything comes at us so fast and everything is so aggressive. And then we go, there's another kind of energy that I want. And I would actually like to shift gears a little, and I'd like to show a different kind of strength, the strength to listen and try to, understand someone's point of view and then have a conversation. And I'm not saying that the masculine can't have conversation, toxic femininity, toxic masculinity, same thing. They're both going to bulldoze over each other. But what I'm saying is this isn't about a gender thing. This is about are we projecting outward? No, it says, let me ask more questions. Let me receive information. Let me welcome things in so that I can learn about them and manifest by drawing things toward me, which means I have to be like a vessel to receive. Then I can decide what works and what doesn't. But I kind of think that if we're looking at this on a bigger scale, that is perhaps the energetic shift happening in the next 3 months. But if we're looking at this at a personal level, then I would say, let's just say that we have a feminine who is deciding consciously, I want to put my efforts towards something so that in the next 3 months, I feel much better about myself. Maybe this is a fitness thing. I want to, work through some kind of hurt or pain by taking good care of me. I want to go ahead and exercise more to reduce stress. I want to go ahead and, do things that are going to like raise my vibration while simultaneously helping me to let go of burdens. I want to work on my health, my wellness, caring for myself. So I could look at it like that as well. But it is definitely time to nurture, because that's how we're going to get more information. That's how we're going to feel better. We've got this 6 of Swords, much more peaceful, but we have the 10 of Crystals in the reverse, which would be the 10 of Pentacles. I have to say the bigger emphasis is not on tons and tons of money. It's on creating a more peaceful, like internal emotional setting. I could imagine that from now until, basically the end of the year, relationships are more important than, business, building solid relationship. There's always plateaus, right? There's sometimes where our businesses are booming, and there's other times where it's like, look, I just want to sustain what I have, make sure that I develop great business relationships. Maybe I'm going to spend a little bit more, to give perks to my clientele base in my restaurant or something to, let them know I appreciate them, and, free appetizer or something. It feels like this is a time of like giving and nurturing relationships and creating greater, like more peaceful bonds, deeper bonds. And the emphasis is not really put on like, okay, now's the time when I'm going to like create tons and tons of wealth. That's not what the drive is. The drive is on deeper, calmer waters and transforming stress into peace. And then it's like the money aspect of stuff, that's not what the main focus is. It's almost like the money will come without effort if the relationships are built. So at a personal level, I would just say, instead of stressing about like, how am I going to match perfectly with a partner? It's like match a partner energetically by first getting right with oneself, and then having a better relationship with even non-romantic relationships. But just maybe a better way to meet the right person is to first feel good about oneself, then, create better, calmer interactions with others, enjoy someone's company more. It feels like some of this is still very murky, because it's like we know that our character is prepping. from Lionsgate all the way through the next 3 months, they are preparing energetically, preparing themselves, and they don't even know what the full outcome is going to be, but they do know the main goal here is feel better, step into the feminine energy, gravitationally pull good vibes toward me, try to work with the better energy of nurturing connections, stress a little bit less about the tangible, like money stuff, because right now is a better time to build like genuine connections with people. It feels more like an emotional time than a money related time. Like that's going to be the biggest benefit. And it is definitely, this is all about how we manifest. We've got the Magician in the reverse. It says it's a lie to think that we can always fake it till we make it, or chase after things, or I think that the fake energy, because this is liars, okay? The Magician in the reverse is not true. Upright, this would be the other way to manifest. This is our divine masculine, and that can be beautiful. That can be, we need fire and direction, the energy of the sun to chase down things and make things happen. Yes. But when some people act like they're movers and shakers and they're full of hot air, that's no good. So what do we need to do when we have, instead of like the projection masculine energy that it turns out to be, maybe we got some fake mover and shakers. Now we need to balance that out by rising up with the feminine energy that brings things not into this hostile energy of clashing, but instead this receptive energy of building relationships, manifesting from a different perspective. It softens the energy and it squashes this without creating conflict. We don't have to call them liar, liar, pants on fire. We can just maybe even nurture somebody through this. Like, it kind of feels like we've had disempowered, but still trying to act powerful kind of energies out there that we're not getting the job done. And it's like, okay, how do we help them step aside and gracefully, without losing face? And this is the answer. Look, I know this still sounds kind of abstract maybe, but it's definitely, this is a gear shift that has to happen. Doesn't have to, right? It's just in this story. Page of Swords. It's so interesting because so let's go ahead and talk about it for just a moment. Like we're going to talk about the masculine versus the feminine right now. And let's say we have had masculines that wanted to be powerful, but blustering and acting like they can swagger on in and get everything done. Maybe it's not working. Their plans aren't working. Maybe them faking it till they make it. And now it's just fake. There's no make at all. There's just fake. And even they know they're losing their grip and it's getting scary because things aren't working out at all. And when the feminine energy steps up and is like, hey, I'm going to gracefully show another way. I'm going to gracefully basically envelop this, not create conflict, not tell them that you're doing a piss poor job or anything like that, but I'm going to start to manifest by listening, by absorbing, by welcoming, and by nurturing. And it's interesting because it shifts them to a place where now they can listen, they can learn. You see how we have all these pages of these books, and you see that they're shrunken down to like a kid, but they have a telescope and they're like, oh, this is nice. I don't feel like I'm doing it all alone. I feel like I actually have support, but I also don't feel insulted. But I also feel like, wow, this is really interesting. The feminine has like some really great stuff to share. This is actually like, this is awesome, without feeling belittled, but instead being willing to maybe be a little bit like able to listen, able to learn. It's really hard for anybody to learn anything new if they feel insulted. And so I'm wondering if this is like, let's take it back to the idea of like partnerships. And this is not between men and women. This could be same-sex couples, doesn't matter. But let's just say in partnerships, we have to support each other. And if one person was like, I'm supposed to be in the lead, I'm supposed to do this, but oh my God, nothing's working. I can't seem to make enough money. I wanted it to be, the provider, or I wanted to be a certain thing, or I felt like I'm supposed to have all the answers, but oh my God, I don't have all the answers. And now I feel like I'm failing. This is where the feminine steps up and it's like, no, I'm not going to let my partner feel like they're failing. I'm going to instead be a partner to them, and I'm going to show them what strength I have without telling them, step aside. I'm going to get this done. You don't know what you're doing. No, this is like a whole different approach. And it's not a, pretending to be weak so we don't step on toes. It's not some big manipulation tactic to be like, let me not insult their inadequacies. No, it's not patting anybody on the head. This is actually stepping up and being a partner, stepping up and saying, hey, I totally see, where you were coming from. I have these, my contribution to make now too. This is exciting. Let's do this together. Let's find a way through this together, because I have a contribution also that I'm excited to share. It's more like we step up instead of shove somebody else aside. We don't tell somebody they're doing a bad job. We say, I get to contribute too, which will be so nice because we can do this together. And it's more like making somebody not feel bad, but instead making them feel like they're not alone and like they're not expected to know it all, but like we'll solve it together. That is really, this is delicate, but man, this is great energy for people not to feel alone, for, partners not to feel like they're out there doing a terrible job. Nothing's working out. Life is hard. Life is hard, and we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to get it right and do well and impress other people. And then when, no matter how hard we work, sometimes we still can't, pry doors open and make more money and be super successful. But when we have a partner that doesn't make us feel like somehow, well, you're failing here, step aside, I'll do it. No, that is so not the energy. The energy is, we'll figure this out together, but I have a great contribution that I can bring to the table too, which means now I feel valuable as well. It makes it so that nobody has to have all the answers, but rather together we find the answers. That's kind of really nice energy for the 8th. If that's what this begins. Now, again, this is like a gentle process. This is, I feel like filling up a bathtub really slowly until it's like, oh, this is nice. This is comfortable. This is just the right temperature. This is just enough water. Now I can kind of float. I feel like that's the energy of the feminine that begins over the next 3 months. It begins with like her feeling super empowered, or the divine feminine energy feeling super empowered and feeling like, I think it's time that I prepare to like bring my energy in and start to like fill things up a little bit, make things a little softer, make things a little more floaty, make things a little bit more like energetically smooth. It is definitely, this is not to insult the masculine energy. And remember, we all have masculine and feminine energies within us. So this is more about a calibration internally if we were to look at it as just one person. I've been saying it's like partnership, but what if it's just in one person? Not being so hard on ourselves. I recently did this for myself. I tend to get super like harried and busy in the summertime, and I always want to be able to have more hours in a day, and I want to get more yard work done, and I need, I have to get everything has to be trimmed and everything has to be just perfect, and it's impossible because things grow so fast in the summer, and I can't make everything look good all at once. And I finally this year decided, instead of freaking out and stressing out, so I'm stressed all summer, which is my favorite time of the year. Well, I really like autumn too, but instead of not enjoying summer, why don't I just say, do what you can do and enjoy what you have done, and every day do some, but instead of stressing out about what isn't finished, why don't you ever look at what is done? Why don't you ever look at, how nice certain areas do look good mode, even if not everything is done. And it has made my summer so much more enjoyable. I'm still running behind. I don't have even half of the things done that I was supposed to have done, like not even a quarter really. But you know what? I'm having a way better summer, and I'm not like freaking myself out over somehow it still isn't good enough. And I just feel like my life is better. So I don't know if that's maybe the best analogy I can make for this. I think it's a lot more than mowing the lawn in this storyline. But I do think even within ourselves, instead of always pushing and always telling ourselves we're still not good enough, it still isn't good enough, what if at some point you go, hang on, let's enjoy what we are working on, and enjoy the fact that the grapes are growing, and enjoy, like, notice the things that are already growing and the things that you're nurturing, and not just look at the things that you still haven't, trimmed and made perfect. So anyway, I'm going to leave this one here, you guys. Thank you so much. That's so awesome. Sold it. That's amazing. You clicked in on 88 views, 33 likes. That is so cool. You guys, thanks so much for being here. Sweet. Thank you, honey. RS love. AJSRVIM. Hey, love. Carol, thank you. Patricia, so great to see you. The official ambassadors of the 2311. Are lions still technically considered to be cats? I consider them cats. Aren't they called the big cats? I think that they all are, right? Although I think not all cats have the same bones in their throat to purr, right? I think that that's a distinguishing feature. Hi, Camilla. Shout out to you in Sweden. Thank you so much for being here, love. Anishta Chatu, the Ashley Calibre. Happy Lionsgate to you too, honey. Julie, great to see you. happy Lionsgate to you also, RS. Glow, hey, absolutely. It was my pleasure. It was my pleasure, hon. Not today, nope. Good to see you. SLH, great to catch you, love. You're so awesome. Thank you. Hey, Nick. Dana Allshaw. Dana Allshaw. I'm sorry, Dana. I just botched your name. I'm just going to say Dana. Karen Bishop. Ingrid Butterfly. So nice to see you, Ingrid. How are you? It's been a hot minute. Cherry Coleman. Sandy. Thank you, love. Small TV. Nice to see you again tonight. Let's see. Jaleh, forgive me. I'm not going to get the rest of your name properly spelled out, so I hope you'll accept me saying that much. But thank you for being here. Carrie Days, hi, hun. Contented Tiger, so good to see you. Bruce like violets. In my mind, you're always first, hun. Sweet and Ginger Montague again. I appreciate you guys so much. So good to see you. Align North. Clearly Wise. Hi, hun. Hi, hello. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful evening or a good start to your day, no matter where you might be. I will see you guys again tomorrow. All right. Bye for now.